Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're joining me today, it's pretty likely that you, like a lot of us, are out there seeking love. Or maybe you're currently trying to untangle the complexities of a relationship you're already in. But right out of the gate, we need to establish a hard truth. True love involves some profound growth. And honestly, that growth can be pretty painful at times. It requires a tremendous amount of compromise. It demands that we constantly strive to better ourselves, to be way more understanding, and to practice an immense amount of patience. It's not just butterflies and fireworks, right? It's a grounded and often really challenging reality.
So let me ask you straight up. Are you feeling confused about how you feel right now? Are you starting to question your relationship patterns? Because on the flip side of all that patience we just talked about, true love also means having deep self-awareness. It means recognizing when things just aren't working out anymore. And maybe most importantly, it means actually having the guts to walk away when the connection isn't genuine. So if you're feeling stuck, uncertain, or just kind of lost, you are absolutely in the right place. Today we're going to unpack 6 undeniable signs that you were never actually in love to begin with.
To really grasp those 6 signs, we first got to understand the core difference between these two super powerful emotional states. On one side, we have true love. It takes time to build, it's firmly grounded in reality, and it requires some deep and honestly, sometimes terrifying vulnerability. On the flip side, we have passing infatuation. This one moves incredibly fast. It demands absolute perfection from your partner, and ultimately, it keeps you emotionally distant. So throughout this explainer, we'll be contrasting the grounded reality of true love with the fast-moving fantasy of infatuation. This is going to help you see exactly where your relationship actually stands.
All right, let's dive into this. What exactly are we dealing with when we throw around the word infatuation? Well, by definition, infatuation is a feeling that thrives on sheer speed and lives entirely inside an illusion. When you're infatuated, your feelings are based way more on the dreams and fantasies you've spun up in your own head than on the actual, flawed, breathing human being sitting right across from you. We're literally separating those fleeting, superficial feelings from a genuine, lasting connection.
Okay, moving right along to Section 1, the illusion, speed, and perfection.
Let's anchor this first point with some incredible insight from relationship expert Susan Winter. She puts it perfectly, saying, infatuation lives in illusion. Love can survive reality. So sign number 1 that you are never in love is that you move things way too fast with your partner. When you're super quick to just jump headfirst into a relationship, you aren't giving reality a chance to set in. You're basically dating a dream. You're dating the potential of a person rather than who they actually are on, say, a random Tuesday morning when they're totally stressed and exhausted.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what moving too fast actually looks like out in the wild. You might find yourself intensely fantasizing about your long-term future together, deeply lusting after them and completely obsessing over them, and you've literally only known them for a few short weeks. These quick, extreme behaviors, they are a massive red flag. They act as a smokescreen, masking a total lack of a true, time-tested connection. You're speeding up the timeline because the illusion absolutely needs momentum, otherwise it just shatters.
So, do you believe in soulmates or fate? I mean, it sounds amazing in theory, doesn't it? But leaning a little too hard into that whole fairy tale leads us right into sign number 2. Expecting your partner to be absolutely flawless and then getting really angry or deeply disappointed when they inevitably show you their true colors. Susan Winter hits the nail on the head again here, pointing out that infatuation needs perfection in order to survive. Realizing that you're demanding perfection is a crystal clear indicator that you're trapped in an illusion.
Just think about the expectations you put on them. If you expect your partner to be perfectly well-dressed every single time you see them, always saying the exact right words, or constantly impressing you with their endless accomplishments, you are effectively leaving zero space for honesty in that relationship. Genuine love is beautifully grounded. When you truly love someone, you accept their imperfections without resentment. You actively work through the messy times together, and you celebrate the good times. If you find yourself getting irrationally angry when their normal human flaws show up, well, that wasn't love. That was a performance, and you were the director.
Let's move along to Section 2, the disconnection, the wall between you.
Sign number 3 is that you are simply not comfortable enough around them. Now, let's be totally fair here. Who hasn't felt a little self-conscious about making a bad impression, right? Especially in those early dating days. We all worry about saying the wrong thing, but there is a tipping point. When you truly fall in love with someone, that is the exact moment when you can finally let loose. You stop caring so much about curating your image.
If you're months into a relationship and you're still meticulously filtering every single word and hiding your true self, that connection is fundamentally superficial.
To really back this up, let's look at renowned research expert Dr. Brené Brown. She discovered that those who have a strong sense of love and belonging are far more open to vulnerability. On the flip side, those who feel disconnected from their partners will consistently build their walls up. It's just a defense mechanism. If you aren't sharing your raw emotions, your personal struggles, or your deepest secrets with this person, you haven't fully loved them. You're just keeping them safely tucked away on the other side of a wall.
Which brings us right to sign number 4. You become more distant. Now, it's completely normal for that early passion to wildly intensify at first, and then naturally taper off into a steadier, calmer relationship. But two people who are genuinely in love will still actually want to be around each other. If you find yourself wanting to get away from your partner more and more, like frequently canceling dinner plans because, honestly, you'd rather go hang out with your friends, your family, or even just stay home with your cat, then something is seriously up. Wanting to constantly escape your partner's presence is a blaring alarm that the infatuation has faded, and there's no real love underneath to keep that bond alive.
And you know, that physical distance leads directly to emotional distance, which is sign number 5. Your mind is elsewhere, and soon enough, your heart follows. As Betchen, the author of Magnetic Partners, perfectly summarizes, partners who are in love tend to maintain a focus on their counterparts. Your attention is quite literally the greatest currency you have in a relationship. When your mind drifts permanently away from them, your emotional investment has already been withdrawn.
So the crucial takeaway here is this. When you have a true connection, you notice the little things about them, and you express genuine concern when the two of you run into conflict. You want to fix it because they matter to you. But disconnection, that looks entirely different. It looks like actively avoiding those tough conversations and just quietly slipping away from arguments. Why? Because when you avoid the tough stuff, you've essentially stopped emphasizing their importance in your life altogether. You just no longer care enough to fight for the health of the relationship.
All right, let's get into section 3, the reality check. Your body knows. We're entering the final phase of our realization journey here. Sometimes your mind can play tricks on you, but your body rarely lies. Sign number 6 is that you've developed actual physical anxiety. Have you been experiencing sudden digestive problems? Or maybe you're suddenly having intense trouble sleeping through the night? Psychologists Kate Balistrieri and Dr. Ann Schieber both state that relationship anxiety can manifest directly in these bodily dysfunctions. The physiological toll of a failing, forced connection is incredibly real. When your subconscious knows something is deeply wrong, but your conscious mind is still trying to force the illusion of love, your body absorbs that friction and it manifests as literal sickness and exhaustion.
And this anxiety totally peaks when you realize you have something major you need to get off your chest, but you are absolutely dreading having to break the news to your partner. This visceral, sinking dread in the pit of your stomach is your body's way of telling you the absolute truth. You can only run away from the reality of your feelings for so long before it eventually catches up to you. And that dread isn't just about avoiding an awkward conversation. It's the heavy realization that the relationship itself is just completely hollow.
Now, what's really interesting here is reframing the end of a relationship. It's not a failure, but actually a profound act of mutual kindness. Forcing love when it is completely absent is only going to end up deeply hurting the two of you. Staying in an infatuation that has run its course out of guilt or just pure habit serves absolutely no one. By acknowledging the truth that the love was never truly there, you are actually freeing both yourself and your partner. Both of you unequivocally deserve to find genuine, grounded love elsewhere if it just cannot be found within your current relationship.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final, really vital question to reflect on. Where do you think you truly stand on your feelings? Take a moment to look inward today. Evaluate your relationship objectively through the lens of these 6 signs. Are you building a slow, vulnerable, and grounded reality? Or are you trapped in a fast-moving, anxiety-inducing illusion? The answer might be pretty tough to face, but honestly, it is the absolute first crucial step toward finding the genuine connection you truly deserve. Thank you so much for learning with me today.